Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Joy Elizabeth and I come on here and I share with you my embroidery journey. Today I have some exciting news about my embroidery journey and I just couldn't wait to jump on here and share it with y'all. So if you have been following along with me for a little bit of time, you know that I work from home, that I prioritize my family, I try to put my family first. That's primarily the reason why I work from home, is to be available more for my children. And so with that, we're going to get into all of the details of this exciting announcement that I have. But after 4 years of dreaming about this, I have finally put in a down payment to purchase a portable building. So I will be getting a she shed very, very soon. It's going to be here very soon, but it'll take a long time. We still have quite a bit of a journey ahead before I'm able to move my entire embroidery studio, embroidery room into that location. But I thought, you know what, this would be a great point. I don't think I've done it yet, to share with you my current situation, my current location, the room that I'm in now in my home. And I know that this room is a complete blessing, that so many of you don't have a space as large as this one to be able to do your embroidery in. So I don't take any of this for granted. I don't take this lightly. I know that I'm blessed. I am so blessed to have this space. And it has served me so well for the last 4 years. But I am very excited to be able to move into a separate location, to be able to separate that home and work a bit, and to really, when I'm home, be present with my family. For a while now, I've been getting so busy that it's really hard sometimes for me to separate. It's so easy and convenient for me to pop in here, throw some thin stuff on the machine and do work. And a lot of times you'll see when I do my tour, my children are in here with me, but a lot of times they're not. And a lot of times I feel like I'm stealing from them and the time that I'm supposed to be spending with them. Now, that's not to say that I won't pop over to the shed and do work when I'm absolutely slammed and I have to, but I do feel like it's going to help me to be able to separate that some. Also, this space I'm standing in about a 400 square foot space. The room is about 20 by 20, minus the fireplace. That probably eats like 3 or 4 feet out of the room. I'm not sure. It's a large fireplace that is also not being used because I'm in here, and I'm not even sure if it can be used, but it can be maintained to be used, if that makes sense. And I would love the opportunity to use that again. This is the first home we've ever been in that we haven't had wood burning something. Like, we're originally from the north, so I've always grown up with wood stoves, wood burning fireplaces. So we're in the south, so I mean, we don't need it, but it's nice to have on those chilly, wet days like we've been experiencing the last few days. So I would love to be able to take back that for my family, to take back this room for my family. Also, we don't have a spare bedroom, so to be able to take back this space for our family to stay in who do live far out of town, who would have to spend nights here. I mean, the closest family I think we have is a 13-hour drive, so they're pretty far away. So there's so many reasons for me wanting to do this. It's not that I'm not blessed to have the space. I am. And if this opportunity did not present itself, I would stay here and I would be perfectly happy in knowing that I'm blessed. But I'm excited to be able to move forward. So let me show you my current location and currently what I'm working with here. Okay, so this is as you walk into my office. This is pretty much the space. Let me do a turnaround for you real quick. This would be my main working area between my machines and this table. So as you can see, it's not a ton of space, but that is like the bare minimum probably of the space I need, minus being able to store things places. Obviously, I'm going to need more space to store things. So again, this room is 20 by 20, so it is a lot of space. That built-in is very messy, but it's full of these 2 drawers are like kids craft, and it's crazy messy, overflow of that and tools and such. So that is pretty much family oriented stuff. I have some product on the shelf, and then there's more product down here. I've got some finished products up here on this shelf, and then some blank hats, blank sweatshirts. So I had, because this built-in is primarily full of kind of like personal things. Also, because it's closed, because of my ADHD, y'all, if I don't see it, I'm like gonna forget it exists, right? So I need it kind of like out. So this open shelving, it's very sturdy. I picked it up from Walmart. I've got youth sizes up here, smalls and mediums, larges, extra larges, plus sizes. There's some extra legs here that are from my corner table, which I will show you in a minute. So pay those no mind. There's a box of pillow inserts, a box of t-shirts down here, and some random school supplies. But that's kind of where I keep my sweatshirt stock. And then I've also got this, what is it called? I don't want to say cart, a clothing rack. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. I got this clothing rack from Amazon, and it rolls around very nicely. It's very sturdy. I absolutely love having it. I will put a link in the description below if you are interested in it. I think it was only like $35. So very, very reasonable, and just been really great to have. Projects that I'm still working on, finished products that I've done. When it's like prom season and homecoming season, sometimes I'll get a lot of gowns that need hemming or whatever. So I'll hang them there, and it's the perfect place for all of that. So that is that corner over there. And then over here, another absolute must-have is you need to get yourself a printer. And I absolutely love this printer. It's an Epson. It has Wi-Fi ability, and it's an eco tank. So that ink, I'm getting kind of low on the black, as you can see. But even with that much ink, I have faith that it's going to last months. I probably bought this, I want to say 2 years ago. I can't believe it's been 2 years already. And I print every single day, probably 30 to 40 times on this thing. I know some days it gets up there, definitely. And then my children also print from this thing. They print full color pictures from this thing. This gets so much use, and I'm just so in awe of how much ink is still in this, and I have not had to replace it at all. So these EcoTank printers are a little bit more expensive at the front end, but in my opinion, you end up saving so much money in ink because I've not had to replace any ink. It's been lasting forever. It's a little dusty. But anyways, it also has the scanner. So when, if I'm doing handwriting samples and someone brings me a sample and they want me to digitize the handwriting and put it on a memory bear or something else, I'm able to scan it in and then bring it over to my computer and do it that way. So I love this printer. It's an absolute must-have in my opinion. I really don't know how I went so long doing embroidery without one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when we move to the new space because my daughter and my children use this so much and we use it so much for family. I might need to get another one over there. My little puppy, she likes to hang out. This is Jasmine. You gonna say hi? She likes to hang out in this chair. It's kind of her spot. So, and then this would be this is my work table that was gifted to me. It's pretty beat up, but it has served its purpose so well. I got this cabinet from Walmart, and currently it's kind of sitting out here as extra space, but it also tucks very well underneath a table or surface. So either way, it's just like kind of that great extra space. I've currently got actually mostly beading projects in there for making bracelets and such. And then I think there's some Cricut vinyl keychain stuff, and then like glues. I think this is like glues and cords and stuff. And then my children have been crafting. So this is a table, small kids table that I thrifted with my parents when they were here to visit once. And usually it is tucked completely underneath my work table. As you can see, it would fit perfectly under there takes up hardly any space at all under there, but it's great to be able to pull out. My kids have been working on these melty beads and they've been working on Christmas presents. So it's been nice to be able to have them working on their own thing in my office while I'm working over there. Once they finished their little projects, they're working on a little Minecraft one right here. Once they finish their projects, they take it up and pop it on my ironing board, and then I'm able to iron it for them. So it doesn't always work out this well that I'm able to have my children in my space without driving me crazy. And usually, and you know, I've cleaned it up for you. This is very nice and neat and tidy compared to what it normally is when they're working. There's beads everywhere. But it's been nice to be able to share that space a little bit for them, with them. And even in the new space, I think there's no way that I won't have somewhere or some ability for them to be able to be in there with me from time to time. So that's kind of where we're at right now with that. And then over here, this was my original sewing desk. So in a house that we lived in the Midwest before we moved to the South, I had a very small corner in the basement, and this desk pretty much fit wall to wall. That's how small my space was. It was pretty much wall. I had that on the wall as well, my pegboard. And then it was pretty much wall to wall. So that was, I think I might have had a little bit of space on the side. So that was my space. And I had 2 single needle embroidery machines. Nope, 1 dual purpose sewing and embroidery machine. And that is how I started. Probably my son is 6 now. So I think I pretty much started when I was pregnant with him. So about 7 years ago. My husband and I built this desk, and that's what those legs you kind of saw on the other side. We've tried many different legs. I know it's a bit of a mess, but when it's not, it's a very beautiful desk that my husband and I built together. So I've definitely kept it, brought it into the new space, and it will probably be going into the shed with me as well. The unit underneath is from IKEA, and it might be a little dirty for my children. They put their feet there. But that's been great for extra storage. I've got my cover stitch machine, my children's sewing machine, scrap stabilizer, some bear parts when I make memory bears, and different odds and ends in there. I've got a tote of just ribbons, a bunch of all of my fabrics for applique and different sewing projects. And then this unit is also from IKEA that I picked up, and that has all kinds of sewing notions. I've got my 8-in-1 magnetic frames down here that I got from Buy originally in 2021. They are not selling them anymore, but you can get some for a Tajami machine. It may not have the magnets on top, but you can still access 8-in-1 frames, and they are very useful for many things. It's just a bunch of bags. I think my sewing threads, not embroidery threads, sewing threads are in there. And then I think I've got my tagging guns and bobbins and things in there. So I do enjoy having those IKEA cabinets and units. And I've got my Baby Lock sewing machine, which needs to be serviced. I just don't have time to get it serviced, but I need to do that. So that is pretty much my space. My kitchen is directly through those doors, and that is just a hallway. So this is truly just a bonus room in my house that I have been so blessed to be able to use for embroidery for the last almost 4 years. Okay, so that is my space. That is where I work every single day from home. And it is such a blessing to be able to have a room this big. Like I said, I popped in a picture, but I can pop it in again, of my original room, which was like super, super tiny. And even that I considered a blessing. And I really truly feel like the more I appreciate what I have, the more the Lord just keeps blessing me with more and more and more, more that I didn't even think or imagine or even ask for. I'm truly, truly grateful for all of the things, and just even this room, I'm very grateful for it. But I'm also grateful to be able to claim it back for my family, and to be able to bless my family with this room again as well. So moving forward, let's just talk really quick about the shed that I'm getting. It is a 12 by 32 foot shed. 36 or 32, I believe it's 32. It has that 4-foot porch on the front, so I know that eats into some of those dimensions a little bit. And of course, it's, if you've looked into sheds, it's like eave to eave, so it's like the outer part is 12 to 12, so even inside it's a little bit smaller than that. So I am actually downsizing. I'm going from like a 400 square foot space to like a 380 something square foot space. So I am downsizing a little bit, and the dream is, or the plan is at this point, to cut into that on the back end, maybe another 4 feet, and make a dog room and a dog door for my dogs, because when we do travel, a lot of times we're having issues with dog sitters not letting them outside to relieve themselves enough, so they need a doggy door. They need to be able to go outside, and this is like kind of been part of that dream. Man, if we had a shed, maybe we could do this. So I'm not 100% sure how the dog room and the doggy door is gonna all work for us, but that is kind of part of the plan. So I'm cutting into it a bit more. So again, I am going to be downsizing actually from the current space that I'm in. So that's why I kind of pointed out again that this is the minimum space that I need, right? I need enough space for my 2 by embroidery machines, and then enough room to walk back and forth and to work. I need a good work table. Maybe having tables that can adjust and change as I need more space. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to utilize probably a lot of the furniture that I already have. It's going to be quite a bit of time before we can move in, because even though the electrical is started, and there's some insulation, and when they deliver it, they level it when they drop it, and I'm sure I'll try to get a video of all of that. But as my husband and I have been doing some research, we may get different insulation. The wiring's there, but of course we still need to wire it from our electrical, from the house or from the street or however. Excuse me. So I'm so thankful for my husband, who is pretty much heading up that whole part. He's doing a lot. I mean, I'm doing some research. I've been watching YouTube videos on like insulation, and like my biggest concern is moisture buildup, and I know like a lot of sheds kind of deal with that. So I've been, doing that research, how to insulate the ceiling. So even though there's insulation already started, we may be able to utilize some of it, but we may actually change some of it. I can't remember exactly what insulation's in there, but I'll pop a picture here so you can kind of see the inside of the shed and what it is right now. So I don't know. I'm very excited for all of the things that is coming, but it is going to be a while. So you'll still see me here in this room for I would probably guess, I would be surprised if I get in there in another 6 months or so. I'm thinking like, we'll see. Maybe we'll get really excited and really get to work, but we are very busy. We live very full lives, so I'm not really sure how much time we'll be able to dedicate to the shed. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting that space ready to be able to move all of this over there. And I'm looking forward to the video where I will be able to show you a tour of the new space. So it's probably not going to be one of your glitzy, glammy, fancy she sheds like some of these other creators are showing you. It's going to be reality. Like I showed you my reality today. This is my space and what I work in, and it's not perfectly clean and it's not perfectly organized. I do the best I can, but I'm also working all the time. I got a lot of work to do today. So I'm gonna finish up this video, but I just couldn't wait to get on here and share with you the exciting news. This was completely unexpected. Like, we were looking at sheds probably a year ago, probably this time last year. I was looking at sheds. Actually, it was probably in January and February. That's what it was. January and February, my husband and I were seriously looking at sheds. We were ready to do it. And in my heart, I knew I wanted to spend only like $8,000 or less. And for what we needed, the space that we were kind of looking at, we could not find a shed under 11,000, 12,000 or more, completely unfinished, no electrical, none of the things. So we looked and looked. I almost put a down payment on one. It was a lot larger. I think it was 16 by something, so it was wider. It had an air conditioner in it, and I think it was wired. So that's why I was like willing to go a lot higher on it, and I almost put a down payment on that one. And I went in and I said, we're gonna talk to the guy, and I'm pretty sure this is the one, right? We went in, we asked about it, and he said, oh yeah, someone else just put a down payment on that one. Someone, had already claimed it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done. Like, I really wanted to stay in this price range, and we're not finding what I want. And I just couldn't justify spending that many thousands of dollars, over 10 grand on something that was completely unfinished, and then we have to put more money into finishing it. So we did put it on the back burner, and months later, that burner had been turned off. Like, I didn't forget about it. It's a dream and it was a desire. But I definitely said, it's a dream. It's probably not going to happen. That was kind of my feeling towards it. I mean, it would be great, but I'm already blessed. So I was okay. I was okay with the space I was in. We were actually at my son's concert thing, and my husband, while we were waiting for the kindergartners to come out and sing, my husband pulled up Facebook, and he's like, Joy, look at this. He's like, I think this would really work for you. And I didn't even take him seriously at first, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I looked at it. It was the size we wanted, maybe a little bit smaller, but like that 32-foot long is really what we were looking for. Yeah, I kind of would like something a little wider, but most of them are around 12 feet wide anyways. You can go up to 16 or more, but so it's a 12 by 32 for under $8,000. I was like, hey. I had so much anxiety that night because we knew we were going to look at it. The more we talked about it, the more we were feeling good. Like, this really feels right. It just felt good. It felt right, So we went in the next day, and because we messaged the person, and I was like, hey, what if someone else goes in and grabs it before we can? Like, they opened at 9, we were there at 9. And honestly, the whole time we were there, no one else came in. It was just my own anxiety thinking I was going to lose this. And it very well could have, because she did say she had just posted 2 repos, and she was getting a lot of messages on them. So, but we were ready. I mean, and the thing is, we've already done a ton of the research. We already knew the price point we wanted to be in. We already knew other sheds and what we were expecting. So when we saw one that was the right fit, there really wasn't much to discuss or question. It was like, okay, this is it. This is the one. We're going to do this. So we went in, put in the down payment, and we are just actually waiting for the call for the deliverers to tell us when they can come get it. So I'm not sure if I'll get it before Christmas or if I'll get it in the middle of January. So just stay tuned for that. I will definitely keep you guys in on the journey. But it's definitely a huge blessing. So I'm very excited to move forward. So let me know in the comments if you have a shed, even maybe it's not for embroidery, maybe it's for something else, and you've finished one. Let me know, give me some links, give me some, point me in the direction, because this is totally new territory for us. So I've done a lot of the research on Pinterest and YouTube and all of that, the girly research, right? And then of course my husband thankfully does probably better research than me and talks to people with more experience than I have and he has. But we've done a lot of DIY. We've fixed a lot of not fixed completely houses. We've done a lot of DIY in our houses. It may not be perfect, but we do the best we can. So we are not complete strangers to DIY, so we will be doing a lot of it ourselves. But anyways, I'm excited and I hope that you stay tuned for the journey and come along. I can't promise how quickly these videos will come out because I really am not sure on the timeline of any of this right now, but I definitely wanted to give you an update. But with that, I've got to get to work. I have so much work to do. It's almost Christmas. I've got to get this stuff done and out the door because I want to enjoy my Christmas as well. So I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned, and thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me and this exciting new adventure that I'm about to embark on.